Take a second and look at how your days actually go. You wake up, react to whatever's on the screen, stay busy all day, and by the evening, nothing meaningful has actually moved forward. A week passes, then a month, and then a quarter. Same patterns, same distractions, same version of you. And it's not because you don't want to change. You've tried, but picking a habit and repeating it was only one of the 4 things that make change actually last. In this video, I'm giving you all 4. They layer on top of each other, and by day 30, you'll feel like a different person. Layer 1, name who you're becoming. This one starts on day 1. Before you close your first loop, write one sentence, like, I am someone who owns their evenings. I am someone who takes care of their body. I am someone who follows through, all present tense. I am, not I want to be. Read it every morning. It will feel fake on day 1. That's fine. It's supposed to. You're not describing who you are yet. You're declaring who you're choosing to become. And every time you show up for your daily commitment, you're casting a vote for that person. Research found that people don't pursue things that feel like they belong to a different kind of person. If you still see yourself as someone who scrolls all evening, no streak will override that. The identity has to lead. The actions follow. Day 1, the statement feels like a stretch. By day 10, after a streak of showing up, it starts to feel possible. By day 20, it feels earned. And by day 30, you stop reading it because you don't need to anymore. It's just who you are. A separate study found that 15 minutes of deliberate self-narrative rewriting produced changes lasting months to years. That one sentence you write on day 1 isn't an affirmation. It's a rewrite, and every day you show up is another line of proof. The next 3 layers build the habit. This one gives it a direction. Layer 2, clear your open loops. Now that you know who you're building, you need to clear everything that's been getting in the way. Think of your brain like a phone at 1%. You're trying to install a new app while 17 things are draining the battery in the background. Of course, your phone will crash. Those background drains are your open loops. They are the workout sessions that you have been avoiding, the conversation you've been putting off, the appointment you keep meaning to schedule. They sit in your head and quietly eat your bandwidth all day. Here's what you do. Grab a pen and write out your top 5 unresolved things. Not your to-do list, your guilt list. The stuff that pops into your head when you go to sleep. Then start closing them. 1 per day, minimum. Completing something counts. Deliberately letting it go also counts. And for the stuff you can't close right away, just decide when you will. I'll deep clean the house Saturday at 10 a.m. That's enough. Research found that making a specific plan for when you'll deal with something eliminates the mental drain. The tab closes before you've even done the thing. There's a name for what you're fixing. It's called attention residue. When you switch away from something unresolved, part of your brain stays stuck on it. Every open loop is a tab running in the background. The more you have, the less bandwidth you have for anything new. Closing them is how you get your brain back. I had 21 open loops when I did this. Closed 17 in 8 days. Some took 5 minutes, some took uncomfortable conversations, but every single one felt like putting down a weight I'd forgotten I was carrying. By day 7 or 8, most of yours will be done too, and you'll feel something you probably haven't felt in a while. Quiet, like your brain finally has room. Layer 3, pick your one thing and commit every night. Your brain has room now. This is where you fill it with the one thing that actually matters. This is the core of the challenge. Pick one thing that would genuinely improve your daily life. Something you've been meaning to do. Under 30 minutes. Something you could do every single day. Learn a new skill. Cook dinner instead of ordering in. Read for 20 minutes. Walk after a meal. Whatever it is, it should touch your daily life. And don't overthink the choice. If you've been meaning to do it for months and keep not doing it, that's probably the one. Now here's how you make it stick. Every night before bed, write down tomorrow's commitment with a specific time. Not I'll read tomorrow. That's too vague. Your brain will negotiate out of that by morning. I read at 8:30 p.m. That's a commitment. When that time comes, you do it. Before you feel like it. Before your brain gives you permission. Writing it down isn't just a reminder. Across 94 studies and over 8,000 people, research found that a specific when and where plan has a significant effect on whether you actually follow through. It preloads the decision so your brain doesn't have to make it in the moment. The decision is already made. You just execute. The first few days feel uncomfortable. You're fighting yourself. That's normal. Around day 10 or 11, it gets harder. The novelty wears off. You don't feel like it anymore. You're in this middle zone where the action isn't new and exciting. And it's not automatic yet. This is where most people quit. But this is actually the most important part of the whole challenge. Research on behavioral activation found that doing something meaningful, regardless of how you feel, generates motivation as a byproduct. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Time you've sat on the couch thinking, I'll start when I feel like it, that's the wrong sequence. The doing is what creates the feeling. So on the days you don't feel like it, that's exactly when it counts most. Push through this zone. By day 15 to 20, something shifts. You start looking forward to it because your brain updated what it expects based on the new evidence you gave it. The action starts to feel less like something you have to do and more like something you just do. Layer 4, track and reflect. Every night. Doing the thing is one part. Seeing the evidence stack up is what makes it last. 2 minutes. Every night, answer 2 things. First, did I do it? If yes, mark it. Second, what went well today? Write 1 line. A check and a sentence. That's it. It sounds like nothing. But researchers studied over 12,000 daily diary entries and found that even minor progress on something meaningful had an outsized impact on motivation. 28% of events that seemed small had a major emotional impact. Small wins drive more momentum than big breakthroughs. And the what went well part? A separate study found that writing down positive things for just 1 week increased happiness for 6 months. Not 6 days, 6 months. From just 1 week of writing. Each marked day is what's called a mastery experience. You're proving to yourself that you can do what you said you'd do. Stack 20 of those in a row, and your brain stops questioning whether you can stick with things. The first week it feels like admin. By week 2, the streak itself becomes the motivation. You don't want to break it. You start doing the thing partly because the thing matters, and partly because the chain of check marks matters. That's the point. You're building evidence that you're someone who follows through. If you want a system that handles the tracking, the daily commitments, and the weekly reviews for you, I built something called the Annual Operating System. It's the exact framework I use to run my own year. Links in the description if you want to check it out. Now here's the honest part. Research shows forming a habit averages 66 days. So 30 days won't finish the job. But the first 30 days are where the curve is steepest. The early repetitions produce the biggest gains. If you make it to day 31, the hardest part is behind you.